Alright, hello all you beautiful people, and welcome to Drago's Deck Guides. This will be the third video, however, you'll notice we actually cut down the time significantly. I figured most people don't want to watch 50-minute long videos, so this one will only be 20-minute long. This one will be showcasing a fun little meme deck featuring Teemo and Fiora. It's not a good deck, but is very much requested by one of my good friends, so I thought I should give it a shot before the new expansion comes out. By the way, if everybody didn't know, there's a huge expansion coming out. Going to be a lot of new cards, so look forward to watching me check those out and show you the worst and best decks there are. Hope you enjoy the video. If you do, like and subscribe, and have a fantastic day.
Alright, so back from the beginning. This is a Teemo deck. It's a bad deck. I do not recommend you guys trying it. However, I do recommend you watch me destroy people with a bad deck. So that's fun. We'll go over our key cards here. So we've got Teemo, obviously. Teemo is a card that plants traps on the opponent's deck. Traps are a specific type of card that attaches itself to other cards. Teemo's traps attach themselves to the enemy cards, and then when they draw it, they take 1 damage. This doesn't seem like a lot until he gets going and he really gets cards out there. Teemo's base form plants 5 random puff caps on random cards in their decks. His leveled up form, which he levels up after 15 have been planted, surprisingly easy, doubles the amount of puff caps in the enemy deck. So you can very quickly, you get 15, 30, 60 puff caps in their deck, and then they just die. That's the idea. Now, when I was thinking about this, I actually almost went with the Ionia one to just summon as many Teemos as possible, but I realized, you know what card's better at being Teemo than Teemo? It's Puff Cap Peddler, which I just accidentally took one out of my deck. Puff Cap Peddler is a card that says when you cast a spell, plant 3 of the 1 damage traps in the opponent's deck. Now this card has good stats, it's a decent mana cost, and it really can get going once it starts, once it sticks. So I decided to make a deck around those two. So we put in a bunch of combat tricks, early spells, survivability spells. We put in a few cards that make mushroom clouds, which are spells themselves that put more puff caps in the deck. So you play this, you play the Puff Cap Peddler, that's 8 damage already. And then we realized, you know what? Hey, who else likes a bunch of combat tricks that let them survive that win the game on their own if they do? And that's Fiora. So I decided to try to combine these two champions together. So you've got Fiora and you got Teemo, 2 completely different win styles. However, they are both win conditions that require removal, and that if they're not removed, just win. So you might play Teemo, and then they remove Teemo, and they use all their resources to get all those Teemos gone, and then you play Fiora, and they go, oh no, we've got no resources left, and then they lose to it. That's the idea, at least. Chain Vest and Radiant Strike, like I said, combat tricks. They get your Puff Cap Peddler going, they keep your Teemo alive, they keep your Fiora alive. Fleet Feather Tracker is used to remove elusives early that try to stop Teemo, because Teemo himself is an elusive, which means he can only be blocked by other elusives. So you play Fleet Feather Tracker, you play Teemo, you remove the enemy elusives with the bird, you attack face with Teemo, you win the game. Bright Steel Protector, good on Fleet Feather, good on Teemo, good on Fiora, just a really good card in general. Clump of Wumps, not that good of a card. I honestly think it could use a health boost buff. I think it could be a 2-3 very easily. We only put 2 in it because his stats are so low, but he does create a mushroom cloud, which is really good for your spell chains. Eager Apprentice, when I'm summoned, refill 2 spell mana, really good for getting your stuff going. Single Combat, this is really just a Fiora card. It's good for removal. However, you can use it on other cards that are being removed, kind of like a combat trick, or to just take out opponent threats. Since this card doesn't have any other form of removal, I figured Single Combat would be good. Prismatic Barrier, another combat trick to keep your stuff alive. Puff Cap Peddler, we've already gone into great detail about him. Relentless Pursuit, you might be thinking, wow, why would you put that card in your deck? Well, the idea is, they spend all their resources, you play Teemo, they're like, well, whatever, we take 1 hit from Teemo. You play Relentless Pursuit, they take another hit from Teemo, Teemo evolves, you just win the game. Very much a, if your opponent overcommits, you win kind of card. Stand Alone, interestingly enough, even though we have a lot of creatures in this deck, Standalone is good on a lot of those creatures. It's good on Fiora, it's good on Teemo, it's good on Fleet Feather. It's just a good card to be running. So we're experimenting with 3 of them. We might have to cut it down, but we'll see what happens. Chump Wump is an absolute unit of a card. He did just get nerfed to 4 mana, 4/3. He creates 2 Mushroom Clouds in the deck, so not 1, but 2. That's 10 damage to the opponents. You combine it with Puffcat Peddler, that's 16 damage. They're almost dead if they draw the shrooms. He's really good, and then you've got Repost. Again, kind of like Prismatic Berry, except with the upside that it might actually be able to remove something. Last card we have in here is Plaza Guardian. I'm a little skeptical on this card. This is our 3rd quote-unquote win condition, where we have something like 23 spells in the deck with all the cards that create spells. So we should be able to get him free, and if we do that, we might just be able to run them down after they've used all their removal on our other big threats. So that's the deck. It's not good, but it does sound fun. So you guys, I don't recommend playing it, but I recommend watching me beat other people with bad things. So don't try this at home, kids. Let's get started. Alright, so we are against a Freljord Karma deck. This is a controlled deck that wants to try to get into late game. Probably freeze the opponents. So the freeze aspect makes me not want to keep Fiora, because the idea is that we're probably never going to get attacks off. However, you know what freeze can't stop this guy. So we're going to keep him. We're going to keep Radiant Strike. Teemo is a very good card to start off with. Unfortunately, if they freeze Teemo, his Nexus Strike won't go off, but we do have a combat trick in hand. I do not believe this deck has anything to deal 1 damage early, so we're safe playing him and then just attacking. So like I said, if he does freeze, I can always just Radiant Strike. We'll see what he does. Goes through. I think I'm actually not going to play anything so I can get the standalone off on the Teemo. I think that would be pretty devastating to him. And we're already starting with the Puffcat spam. So we've already got a 4/4 elusive Teemo. That's terrifying on its own. We'll see what happens. We might just be backing him into a corner as we speak. We attack just in case he has any slow removal. Again, if he freezes, we can just Radiant Strike. Wow, he's taking a lot of early game pressure. Teemo is one of those cards where if you don't have something to stop him early, you do just lose. It's a good heal. However, we're playing one of those decks where it doesn't really matter what his heals are like. We play the Chump Wump before the Puffcat Peddler so we can combo all 3. This should level up Teemo on its own. Which means if Teemo gets another strike in, it's probably game over. Oh, that is way too slow, dude. That's not gonna do you anything. I'm sorry. Go ahead and play Chump Wump with a combat trick. Get the shrooms in the deck. Oh no, I think it's over. We're going to hold on just in case he tries to freeze him, because this level up would actually bring him up out of freeze range. We might have misplayed, but it's alright, because now he can, now this won't double the shrooms in his deck, but that's still a lot of shrooms in his deck. Like I said, we're playing around freeze a lot because he has a freeze champion in his deck, but he's not freezing me a ton. There's the level up. I might just go ahead and play this and see if we can kill him. This is going to be disgusting. This is a lot of shrooms we're about to put in his deck. Oh no. Bam. 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 Absolutely disgusting start, by the way. Control doesn't win if you kill him by turn 6. 41 puff caps. Yikes. Play that. Alright, let's see what he draws. 1, 2, 2. Alright. Not the worst. There's the Frostbite. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and Bright Steel Protector Teemo so he doesn't take damage from like a Shatter. That's fine. I personally would have frostbited that one, but it's fine. By my honor, you must die. So like I said, we've got him in a pretty big corner. Wow! That's really good. Doesn't matter though. Oh no, my puff cat fed over. Ash is leveled up. Oh no. Oh lord. Do you think he knows that freezing Teemo stops Nexus Strike? There it is. He's going to be up to 49. This deck is so degenerate. Funny enough, his Kindly Tavern Keeper might actually keep him in for a minute. I still don't think he can win. I think he's just going to draw to his death, but... Oh no, one left. So as you can see, we ended up getting 15 with the Teemo, but we ended up getting a ton more with our other cards. So again, I'm not sure how good Teemo is, but he really kept pressure early game, so... It's fine. The dude's got buffed cards now. He can't possibly lose with buffed cards. We're just trying to stall until he can draw one more card. In case you're wondering why we're taking weird trades here. This should be game. It's real nice that you're leveling up. That's good. Oh! What? Okay. No! No, not like this. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. As long as he doesn't freeze Teemo. That's interesting. Definitely would have got Teemo there, but that's good. He shouldn't have a freeze, yeah. Alright, so... It's 100 buff caps. If he doesn't draw any, I don't know what to tell you guys. There it is. Okay. That's the deck. It's degenerate. He healed 9, by the way, so he healed about 50% of his Nexus. We still pushed through that. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. They're putting us on a long timer because they don't want people to have to fight this deck anymore. Alright, so this is an aggro deck, which would be what we suffer most against. We're going to hard mulligan for Teemo. Even though Puffcat Peller is a good keep, we needed Teemo level 1 to keep up with an aggro deck. I'm going to be honest, I forgot Draven was not Piltover and Zon because that's the combination that he's always running. This is interesting. He's got some sort of strange combination going on. So, he might be running Freeze, but I think our win condition here is actually Fiora now. I think we've transitioned from a Teemo deck into a Fiora deck. This guy's deck is kind of an amalgamation. He's got Yetis, he's got Discard, he's got Katarina. It doesn't make too much sense if I'm being honest. This prevents him from attacking. So how quickly that happened tells me that he doesn't have any combat tricks at all in his hand, which means we might actually just try to pressure a win here. We'll see. So we are one Fiora take away from winning. This is just your typical Fiora play. And he can't deal with it. So that's the other side of the deck. Like I said, we've got basically your two win conditions. We've got the Puff Caps and you've got the Fioras. Fiora just wins by being Fiora. The Puff Cap's a lot more funnier, but a lot more memey and not as good.